At least 1,436 citizens from 36 African countries are fighting in Russia's war of invasion in Ukraine, although the number could be higher, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha stated on Friday. Posting on X, Sybiha said after joining the Russian army, most of the foreign fighters are immediately sent to the meat assaults, where they are quickly killed. He stressed that there is no accountability for the killing of foreign nationals in Russian army. They are treated as second-rate, expendable human material. He urged African governments to caution their citizens against joining Russia's military, calling it both illegal and immoral, and a violation of international law. Sybiha also appealed to those already fighting to desert and surrender, assuring them that Ukrainian captivity would give them a chance to survive and eventually return home. Kenya's foreign ministry previously confirmed that Russian-linked recruiters have been deceiving Kenyans with false promises of employment, only to have them detained in military camps. Kenyan Foreign Minister Musalia Mudavadi said that fraudulent agents pretending to represent official organizations have tricked citizens into signing contracts they do not understand. In September, authorities in Kenya arrested a Russian embassy employee, Mikhail Lyapin, accused of recruiting local men as mercenaries, along with a Kenyan accomplice who helped send recruits to the Russian army. Police are currently questioning at least 21 suspected recruits. While Kenya is working to bring home its citizens caught in the scheme, it still intends to pursue a labor agreement with Moscow to secure legitimate job opportunities. Sybiha added that Ukraine will soon release additional details about other foreign nationals captured while fighting for Russia, and again called on governments to dismantle Russian recruitment operations and warn their citizens that fighting for Russia is both unlawful and suicidal. It should be noted that Ukrainian POW camps hold a few dozen foreign fighters fighting within the Russian army. In April, soldiers from Ukraine's 49th Separate Assault Battalion captured an African mercenary from Senegal who was fighting for Russia in the Toretsk direction. According to the Ukrainian military, the man had planned to leave Russia for Germany but was forced to go to the front to earn money before he could leave. In June this year, Ukrainian military captured 2 Cameroonian citizens who fought against Ukraine on the side of the Russia. The captured Cameroonians claimed they went to Russia to make shampoo and get dental treatment but were welcomed as cheap substitutes for Russian cannon fodder. Both men said they signed contracts under which they were promised approximately $13,990. It should be noted that since the start of 2024, a total of 3,344 foreign nationals who went to fight in Ukraine have received Russian citizenship, according to the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Three natives of Belarus were on the list of 1,292 servicemen who deserted from the 144th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces. Such data was published on October the 30th by the Ukrainian project, Want to Live. We have no information about their fate. We only know that people on this list were wanted by their commanders as having committed I Want to Live, Euro Radio told. The list includes Vitaly Viktorovich Shevchik, May 15, 1989, from the village of Garanovichi, Brest region. Yusin Vitaly Alexandrovich, December 13, 1970, place of birth, Brest. Ustinov Sergei Viktorovich, born April 18, 1977, in Vaikov, Mogilev region. While mercenaries from other countries are typically motivated by money, ideology plays a central role for Belarusians, according to the project. Belarusian society and Russia operate within the same information space, leading many Belarusians to eagerly believe propagandists' fairy tales about Nazis in Ukraine and fight for shared Soviet past. I Want to Live also said, it is obvious that the participation of Belarusian citizens in Russia's war against Ukraine is happening with the silent consent of dictator Alexander Lukashenko. At the same time, Lukashenko is reportedly uncomfortable with Russia's use of Belarusians as cannon fodder. At least 314 Belarusian citizens have been killed while fighting alongside Russian forces in Ukraine, according to Ukrainian project I Want to Live. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin would do everything possible to drag Belarus into the war against Ukraine. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference, Zelensky noted that Russia plans to send troops into Belarus in the summer of 2025 under the pretext of exercises which could be used as cover for an attack on NATO countries. Earlier, Commander-in-Chief of Ukraine's armed forces, Oleksandr Syrsky, said he could not rule out that the large-scale Zapad 2025 exercises set to take place in Belarus in the fall with Russian participation could be part of preparations for a new offensive against Ukraine. Belarus remains one of Russia's closest allies in the war against Ukraine. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Russian authorities have reportedly been recruiting Belarusians through draft commissions operating inside Belarus. Belarusian recruits are reported dead approximately 6.5 months on average after signing contracts with the Russian military. Most of the deceased served in the 150th Motorized Rifle Division, and a significant number were reportedly recruited from Russian prisons. The project also highlighted that Belarusian Special Forces personnel are among those serving in the Russian army, particularly members of the 5th Separate Special Forces Brigade, based in the Belarusian city of Mariina Horka.
Special Operations Forces of Ukraine shared footage of the destruction of enemy logistics facilities in the temporarily occupied Crimean Peninsula on the night of November 6. It was reported that the previous night, Special Operations Forces struck the Gvardiskaya oil depot near the village of Gvardisk, Crimea. An RVS 400 tank was destroyed. It was full at the time of the strike. At the same time, in the same area, 2 trains carrying tank cars were struck at a loading and unloading ramp. At the time of the strike, the rolling stock was loaded with petroleum products. It was also reported that special operations drones struck several oil depots and fuel storage facilities in Simferopol and the surrounding area, as well as the village of Bytomnoy. Tank farm facilities were destroyed. Multiple fires were recorded. On November 6, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported the defeat of important facilities of the Russian occupiers. It is noted that on the night of November 5, Special Operations Forces struck the Volgograd oil refinery in the Volgograd region of Russia. The refinery's annual oil refining capacity is reported to be 15.7 million tons. Explosions and a fire were recorded in the target area. The Special Operations Forces noted that the last time long-range Special Forces drones reached the Volgograd oil refinery was on September 18, after which the refinery suspended operations. The General Staff also confirmed the destruction of a Shahid UAV storage, assembly, and launch base in temporarily occupied Donetsk. According to objective monitoring, explosions and a powerful secondary detonation were recorded at the facility. In addition, 3 fuel and lubricant facilities were hit in the temporarily occupied Autonomous Republic of Crimea to reduce the enemy's logistical capabilities. At the oil depot in Gvardiskoy, a successful hit was recorded on a fuel storage tank and fuel and lubricants tankers at a loading dock. Tank farms were hit at 2 fuel and lubricants depots in Simferopol. Fires were detected in the fuel tanks.